Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Curtis on this Tuesday evening, the 30th, the last day of June 2026. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you are staying cool. Hope it's not too hot in your neck of the woods. I know it's been crazy heat waves. We're pretty lucky here, but anywho, we're going to talk about Silent Hill 2, the backdrop I have right here. I've spent 40 something hours playing this game, and I want to talk about it, and I'm excited to have you guys join me. And many thanks to so many of you who helped me get through this game with your help, your patience, your hints, and your senses of humors. I really appreciate it. Yeah, people are starting to roll in. That's nice. Good to see you, Jake Quinlan, Gen 1 Gamer. Hey there. Zero Cleft, Zen. Hey, Zen. Aaron. Hello, Aaron plays games. Images and outlooks. Well, it was scary. It was totally scary. Those deaf mutes starting things off.
Those deaf mutes tipped $5, wishing you a happy financial New Year's Eve.
Well, thank you. It's much happier now. Hope you're doing well, man. Thank you so much, as always. Yeah, a bunch of people are showing up. It's great. Do I Do's here. Jay Wolfenstein. Good to see you. So yeah, we're going to talk about this game that I played. I don't really know where to start. I have a whole bunch of things open. And I guess I want to start with what my thoughts were before I dove into, the internet telling me what the game means. And also I'll share with you at some point, I'm going to open up a Discord chat feature. And I think we've had this in place for a while. We don't use it very much. I think we've only used it once or twice. Daniel put it together. And so anybody who is a Coffee or Patreon member, you'll get an alert on Discord that will say that I've opened up a channel, and it's kind of like a call-in thing. So I'll be able to see you and that you're there, I hope, if I do this right. And that if you would like to raise your hand and join the conversation and just come in and sort of like a call-in show, just give your 2 cents on whatever it is we're talking about. I'll bring you in, we'll chat for a few minutes, and I'll put you back in the waiting room, and then someone else can come in. So feel free to, I'll tell you when we're going to do that. I think I'm going to start just by verbally processing myself, and then we'll find some time to do that. I'm also going to show some video. We're going to watch all, 6, 7 endings. And then we'll put this baby to bed. It's been a hell of an experience. Really just a very profound one. I'm so glad I played it. And thanks to so many of you who suggested it. All right, where to start? So for me, playing this game, and I think that this is probably the case, I would imagine, with most people, is that it's really hard. Like when you watch a movie, even if it's a horror film or a movie that can get your blood going, you're a passive, you're a standby, you're someone watching at a distance. And so you are able to project meaning or maybe hidden meaning into what you're seeing. When you're playing the game, I'm too busy trying not to get killed or figuring out how to not get lost or how to turn around and go the right way. And so I get so caught up in the mechanics of the game that I sort of lose sight of what the meaning and what it's trying to say. So my thoughts were, and I'm going to keep an eye on the chat too, and feel free to pipe in, and I'll do my best to respond in kind. It just felt to me that James was either dead and not aware of his death, sort of like I think I mentioned Jacob's Ladder or Occurrence at Owl Creek, and that this is a version of hell, or the 7 levels of hell, because he keeps going down, down, down into more and more dark pits. And it just seems to me that he was heading into some kind of, and I didn't know why, and I knew that there would be a reveal at the end. I didn't know, I knew that Maria was a version of Mary, and I didn't know if they were one and the same, or if maybe Maria was a version of Mary that James wanted. That was something I was thinking about. Laura, I always thought Laura was their daughter, but it's not. I found out a little later that Laura was also someone in a hospital that that Mary befriended. Did not know much about Eddie or why he was there, or Angela or why she was there. That was very confusing to me. It didn't work. It didn't click. So when I read about those characters, it made so much sense. So I'm going to start. Hey, Ozzy, I saw that you're playing Sanitarium. Thanks, man. Thanks for getting a head start on it so you can talk me through stuff. I want to start by playing a video clip of the VCR, the VHS tape, because I didn't get it. And so I want to watch it again with you guys and see if you have, you're not allowed on the coffee channel. Bevan, that's weird. Maybe, see, I don't know. Let me see if I can, when I do the thing, I will see if I can figure out how to unlock you so you can get on there. I think it might not be too hard. So let's watch the scene. This is the videotape scene right here. Okay. Okay.
Are you taping again? Come on. I don't know why, but I just love it here. It's so peaceful. You know what I heard? This whole area used to be a sacred place. I think I can see why. It's too bad we have to leave. Promise you'll take me again, James.
I'm going to stop for just a second. So there's always questions, and we still have questions even after all this. But to me, this video was taken on their vacation when they were still happy and enjoying their lives. And that first cough is the beginning of her illness, which ultimately ruins both of their lives. And then this next section, I can't imagine that he videotaped it. He was videoing her in room 312 of the where they were staying. But this is probably Silent Hill, and implementing this footage to remind him what he did. And it's funny because I'm in the middle of playing this game, and I don't know if anybody else is like this, but even though I was watching it, I didn't get it. Let's watch this again, but I didn't get it, and I'm going to be embarrassed to say it's more obvious than it should be. Now I can see that his So now I can see that there was a pillow over her head. I didn't notice it. I still, even now watching it, I'm in a fairly bright room, and so seeing darker images on the screen are a little harder when I'm streaming. But it was not completely obvious to me that he was smothering her with his pillow. And Zen says, yeah, it wasn't entirely clear in the original either. I think it's because James killing Mary was the last thing he was expecting, or we were all expecting, yeah. And then we have the scene where he's going to talk to Laura, and he's clear about it now.
Mary's gone. She's dead.
Liar. That's a lie.
No. It's the truth.
She died because she was sick.
I killed her.
He admits it to her. He's admitting it to himself.
Killer! Why'd you do it? I hate you! I want her back. Give her back to me. I knew it. You didn't care about her. I hate you, James! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! She was always waiting for you. Why? Why?
I'm sorry.
He gives
Mary, you know, isn't here.
He doesn't give a response or an answer. He's not. Sure what else happens here.
Mary?
Oh, he hears her again. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. Get back. So what I'm just going to comment on what I just saw. That one thing I noticed about James, because he's our hero. We're with him the entire time, and so you want to, you want him to be the good guy. But there were times in the game where he just wasn't. There were times when he was really rude to Laura. He was not kind, and you saw other sides of him, and you sort of brushed it off because you had to go fight a zombie. But you see these moments of him not being good, not being kind. And Jake Quinlan says, I want to point out that this is the first time James's conscious emotions summon the other world. He isn't forced into it. Yeah, I think that's a good point. So, yeah, he was trying to forget, and he was trying, thanks, Ozzy, and he's pushing it back. So, okay, now I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to read some of the commentary that I've read, and we can talk about this stuff. Bevan says, I was just about to hint at that. I was going to ask what he thinks the significance of how recent Laura's birthday was. Thank you. I didn't get that. I knew that was a big moment when he said, wait a minute, how old are you? And she was writing on the window or something, just drawing on the condensation on the window. And she said 8. And so that flew right over my head. But as I've read about this, so let me go ahead and read some commentary on this. And while I do that, I'm going to, let's see how I, if somebody can tell me, I don't want, let's see, general chat, Patreon channels. I want to see members. So let me find, there you are. Oh, there you go. So let's get you. So I'm going to move you into, Bevan, I just moved you into a different tier. So that should hopefully, I moved you in 2 different tiers. So let's check it out again and see if that's going to work. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share with you guys. Hold on, there we go. Okay. So this is the start to stage. So let's just say SH2 talk. I'm going to notify everyone. I think I'm just notifying everyone who's one of the members, or who's a coffee member, a Patreon member. So I'm going to start this. And I guess I will see folks joining. Hey, I see Zen. You're already there. That's awesome. Okay. So just hang tight if you want to say something. I guess there's a raise your hand option if you have something specific to talk about in terms of what we're talking about right now. Okay, people are popping in. That's great. I see Zero left there. Okay, cool. So let me, I will keep an eye on that. And I'm going to read some stuff. All right. So I've got some Reddit threads open. I used AI. I've got all the stuff. It's supposed to say, is it supposed to say I don't have permission to speak in the channel? I don't do this much. It's not supposed to say that. I'm so sorry, Bevan. I know that this is a game that you love and you were very, very instrumental in me playing it. And I want you to be able to share your opinions. I'd love to hear your voice. If anybody in the audience can tell Bevan what you need to do to get in there, or if you can tell me what I need to do, I can do a quick little, I'm not ready to talk yet. So I think I'll just go on AI and find out how to get you on there. Okay, no problem, Ozzy. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to read some stuff. Okay. I basically said, I just finished Silent Hill 2 based on user fan theories and whatever developers and artists have shared. Talk me through the storyline of the game, what it means, and a cohesive character breakdown. So I'm going to read this. It's pretty generic, although pretty spot on. And then I'm going to share with you some other fan theories that I thought were interesting as well. And then we'll just open it up for conversation. So processing the ending is a journey in itself. The Silent Hill 2 remake does a phenomenal job of preserving the psychological core of the 2001 original while adding subtle, heavy-hitting nuances to the atmosphere. So the core storyline and what it means. On the surface, James Sunderland goes to Silent Hill because he receives a letter from his wife, Mary, who died of a chronic illness 3 years ago. I know, we're doing conversations, right? She tells him she's waiting for him in their special place, which I guess is in room 312. Speaking of, I guess I can change my, I did a little work here. Let's see. 312. There's room 312 right there. There we go. The massive twist revealed via the videotape in 312 of the Lakeview Hotel is that Mary didn't die 3 years ago. James suffocated her with a pillow just days before the game begins. Oh, it's not the... No, I'm sorry, Bevan. It's just going on to Discord. It's just Discord. It's not coffee. Yeah, if you just use your Discord, and that the channel should have invited you. That's my hope, that you were part of that. Sorry, everyone. So that was new. It happened 3 days ago, and he suffocated with a pillow. And his guilt brings him to Silent Hill, the purgatory of the mind. Silent Hill isn't just a spooky town with monsters. It's a psychological mirror. The town has a unique supernatural power that taps into the human psyche, manifesting a person's deepest guilt, trauma, and suppressed desires into physical reality. James's mind was shattered by the trauma of Mary's illness and his own monstrous act. To protect his sanity, he constructed a massive delusion. She died 3 years ago from the sickness. The town calls out that delusion, forcing him to play through a horrific symbolic loop until he either accepts the truth or breaks completely. So Silent Hill is kind of a living, breathing. And they even say that it was built on sacred ground. So it's sort of it's there to make people make amends, or I guess. So let's talk about the characters. Okay, cool. Glad it's working. Awesome. Well, we'll eventually have people talk rather than me. So I think what I'll do is let's talk about James, and then I can open it up if people want to comment on James. That would be great. So James is a deeply fractured protagonist. The Bloober team and the original artists have emphasized that James is not a simple villain, nor is he an innocent victim. He is a tragic study of caregiver burnout mixed with intense selfishness. It's funny, I was on a hike this weekend with some friends, and one of our friends is a caregiver. She's a social worker. So she works with terminally ill people all the time. And I was telling her about this game, and her eyes just bugged out. She couldn't believe that a video game had this kind of psychological understanding of the process, not only of the person that has the illness, but the caregivers, and how it can disrupt their lives to an unbelievable extent. And what a fascinating thing that they did this. I was blown away. Because I thought it was a mercy killing, and I think it is a mercy killing. But it also came out of anger and of frustration, and it was a combination of many things, which, how often do games do that? That's crazy. The conflict. He loved Mary, but her terminal illness turned her bitter and abusive toward him. While the medical bills and constant caregiving stripped away his life, he felt trapped, lonely, and sexually frustrated. Did he smother her to end her pain, mercy killing, or did he do it to end his pain? The game implies it is an ugly, complicated mix of both. The monsters, lying figures trapped in straitjackets made of skin. These represent Mary's confinement to her hospital bed and James's feeling of being trapped. The bubblehead nurses, manifestations of James's sexual frustration during Mary's hospitalization, mixed with the sterile, grim reality of the hospital environment. It's great. And Pyramid Head, created by Masahiro Ito. Pyramid Head is explicitly James' executioner. because James cannot punish himself while living in a delusion. His psyche creates a monster to stalk him, brutally murder Maria over and over, and force him to face his guilt. I always wondered, why do we keep seeing Maria die and come back to life? That makes so much sense. So that's a lot to chew on right there. Zen, I see your hand is up. I'm going to see that this works. I don't know if it does. I'm going to turn the desktop audio off. Oh God. Oh, you disappeared. You were here. All right. Tybrin, Zero Cleft, Bevan, I see you guys are there. If you have something you want to say, I'm going to have you raise your hand so that way I'm not just calling on you unless you actually have something you want to say. Oh, there he is again. Jake Quinlan says Pyramid Head is also introduced doing things to either the legs or a nurse. I forget which one. Yeah, it's true. When we first see Pyramid Head, he is abusing one of the of James's tormentors, and that was a creepy thing. Also, okay, Zen, I see your back. So if you have something to say, just go ahead and raise your hand so I know you're ready. Oh, there you go. Okay, let's give it a try. I'm going to click on you. What do I do? Open in mod view, friend. Oh, I guess I just do. I don't know how to do it. Can I put you? Huh? Can I put? I'm going to let you guys watch what I'm doing here because it seems kind of silly. Okay, so I click on Zen. There's that. There's that. Invite to server. Crash production server? No. Ignore full view profile. Open stage. In a stage. Do I open this? Maybe that's it. Did I do something? Yeah, crap. I might not be able to make this work. Why isn't it working? Zen. Like a baby. I don't know, buddy. I guess I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, there's this. Show requests. Oh, here we go. Invite to speak. Beauty. Zen, can you hear me? Hello. Hey, and now, oh, let me see if I got. Okay, I think.
Sound like I'm talking to a pillow right now, right?
Yeah, you sound like a pillow to me too. Can you not hear me very well?
Oh, man. I'm talking through headphones right now.
Okay. Well, hey, it's nice to hear your voice, and tell me what you got.
Okay, do I sound normal?
Oh, you sound so much better. Yeah, awesome.
Cool. Wow, I have a lot of thoughts on this game. Also, hi.
Hey, yeah, how's it going, man?
Yeah, this game for me was one of the best games as far as story goes, and there's so much detail put into it. I'll tell you, there's some stuff you definitely got to check out. I would highly recommend that we play. I think chat wants to see the dog ending.
Oh, we're gonna see them all for sure. Yeah, we'll see them all.
Yeah. We've been trying to keep the lid on that one.
I think I've got them all lined up, and I do have that. Thanks to you, the video of the original Mary reading the letter, and it's wonderful. And we'll get to that. That will sort of end our stream today.
It's one of those brilliant acting directing things where they basically didn't tell the voice actress she was going to be reading this ahead of time, and they were just like, "All right, first take, like go ahead." And she I guess the director said she was crying her eyes out when it was over.
Oh man, I can imagine. So yeah, tell me,
Yeah.
what was your take with this? Like, had you played it prior to my playthrough? Or had you
Yes.
you spent
Well,
some time
yeah.
with this?
I played it on the PlayStation 2 when it was new.
Oh wow.
And it's funny, I have a friend who plays Silent Hill 2 on the PlayStation 2 every single year, and he's
Oh wow.
still doing it.
The original.
Yeah.
That's
And the
great.
thing is, it's like, yeah, the first playthrough, you're just like, okay, I got a letter. I'm gonna go rescue Mary, I guess. And then there's so much symbolism that you don't notice. And then
Mm-hmm.
when you go back, you're like, oh wow, they put a lot of thought into this.
Absolutely. It's funny when you
Like
get a
with
chance.
Angela, I didn't know what Angela's deal was my first playthrough. You know,
Not at all. And it's so powerful, her story, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But
you should definitely on the original pull up when she meets him in the apartment. That's a pretty good scene, but there's a lot of voice acting from the original that's pretty solid. Like I think the remake did a good job, like maintaining what they were going for.
Yeah. No, it's right. It's like the idea that Eddie and Angela are, are two other souls that have been called at the same time as James, experiencing their own reckonings, and that they happen to cross paths. That was very unclear to me, and
it's different depictions of mental illness.
absolutely,
It's like it's not always pretty. Like sometimes when people are experiencing one thing or another, they become really annoying to people around them and strange, and like all of them exude that at some point.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, I'm just gonna try to figure out how to do this. So thank you. I'm stay on, and I want you to come back. But I'm just gonna try to figure.
Yeah.
I'm new to this, and I'm trying to figure out how to move this thing forward. But it's great hearing your voice.
Oh, dude. I'm not good either, so I got you.
All right, I'll bring you back in a bit. Thanks, man.
Hell yeah.
Now, if I know how to even get rid of you. All right. Let's see. Invite to speak.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right, there we go. Then you're back.
I'll try doing my part.
Hello.
Let me see if I do.
There we go. Cool. And Zero Cleft, I'm going to bring you in if you are ready, and we'll talk a little more. And then once we've talked a little bit, I will go back to our recap. All right. So Zero Cleft, I am going to invite you. There we go. There he is.
Hello.
Hello.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, man. How are you? It's nice to see these.
Long time listener, first time caller.
I knew someone was going to do that. It might as well be you.
Go for it. So yeah, well, thanks for having me on.
For sure.
This is a kind of difficult game to talk about because it deals with such heavy topics, right? We're talking about people dying and death and the subconscious personifications of that.
Mm-hmm.
And just how, like, so I don't want to get too heavy on your stream here.
No, man, this is what this game wants us to do that. That's great.
So the way I view this is, last year my girlfriend's father passed away of cancer.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And it was a very long process.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 years before that, she lost her mom to cancer.
Oh,
yeah. So with this, it just reminded me of what she told me about when her father got cancer. And she said, oh, no, I got to go through this again. And I said, oh, what? And she's like, it's so long. You almost wish it was over. But once it's over, you feel guilty because you're kind of wishing for it to be over. And it reminded me of James in this game, which sounds like I didn't tell her that. I don't think she wanted to hear.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I don't think that was the right time to say, you remind me of James Sutherland from Silent Hill 2. But just the guilt and the dread of wishing it was over and it not being over. And it raises a lot of topics about that and how she went through that, and she has this pervading feeling of guilt over it, and James trying to deal with that guilt,
Yeah.
and doing it because even her father said, I wish wish this was over. You know what I mean? I just wish this was over. And it's like
Absolutely.
when you say over, you're talking about your life, Dave. Like, like you're talking about everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and also the sense that 2 lives were lost, or actually in many ways 3 lives were lost. And by the way, can somebody just make sure I'm playing with audio stuff here? I want to make sure I didn't accidentally mute our buddy Zero Cleft here. So just let me know that you can still hear him. Otherwise, I have to turn the other thing back on. But I think he's still coming through. But for me, I was thinking about not only is Mary dying or does she die, or she's the one with the illness, but James, his life as he knows it is over. It's not the same. Their relationship as they knew it as what not only was a wonderful, happy thing, but got pretty ugly, right? Because she became very abusive and probably, fear and the drugs and all the things turned her into something that she wasn't, or that she hadn't been. And then, so it seems like not only it's a relationship dying, and then 2 people dying, certain kinds of deaths. And that's just there's so many layers to this. It really blows my mind.
To leave it on, because I was just talking about, this heavy subject, but the beautiful part of this game to me is that with Laura at the end, because her dream was always to adopt a child or to have a child. So in the end, in one of the endings, he leaves with her.
That's
right?
The one I got. Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, that's the real ending in my mind. She may have died and her life may have ended, but James is carrying out her dream. You know what I mean? He's doing what she always wanted to do. And in a way, she might be gone, but she's now following him in a more positive way, where all this stuff happened, but the I guess the silver lining to it all is he's going to take care of Laura and remember his wife the entire time. So that to me is the positive ending. And
that's the one we want. But I will say that I would like to think that it can be true in terms of that particular ending. I haven't seen the other ones, and I'm curious what those will be. We'll get a chance to watch those later. But I'm such a realist. I think about the way he hasn't been kind to her, to Laura, and she has not been very kind to him. Kicking the keys away. They've been really at loggerheads the entire game. There's a theory. I'm not sure if you've heard this, but there's a theory that Mary is actually in the trunk of the car when you first come in.
Yes.
So that he killed her, he put her in the trunk, he drove there out of panic and just in a daze, and then he started his journey. So if they go back to the car, get in the car and start their life, I feel like there's going to be a lot in the way of them having a good relationship, even if they were to even if they are together at the end of the game.
Well, Paul, you just took my beautiful ending and you put a whole big spin on it. I don't know how I feel about that. But just as a more on the game and less personal, Laura can't see the monsters, because these monsters, to me and to what the developers seem to talk about, are all the subconscious of James coming out. Like Pyramid Head is right. Coming out, and Laura can't see them because she's an innocent child that hasn't been corrupted by the world yet. So I thought about that, but I never thought about your ending, where now she's got to have these monsters because James is corrupting her. So you've just
he may have corrupted her in a way, because and I also love that thing that I love the idea that we're diving all over the place here, but I appreciate it. That I didn't realize that one of the bosses we fought was Angela's, basically her demon, and that one of the bosses we fought, that when we fought Eddie, we dipped our toe into their worlds. I didn't know that their worlds were different from James's, but now I see the difference where Angela, there were pistons and things going in and out. And when we're fighting that boss, we're sort of in her household, and there's the little nooks that she would crawl into. And with Eddie, it's like the meat hanging and these dead bodies that are like that he's been trying to kill. But with Laura, she's just having a great time. She's in a beautiful place. She doesn't have the demons. And so that's why when you see her, she's not afraid. She's not seeing what they're seeing. I think that's just a fascinating, that's just really, really great storytelling.
It's a good piece of art when it makes you think this hard about it. So that's
Totally.
You've done something when people all these years later are making you think.
Absolutely.
About like the two sides to it, like not two sides, but like I was thinking, oh, all these horrible things happened, but luckily he left with Laura, and then you bring to it, oh, he's gonna leave with Laura and kill. But I don't know. My personal go-to with Silent Hill is always that it's some sort of purgatory, right? That they're in, and these other people are there too, and their subconsciouses are kind of combining in a weird way and making this hellish town.
Totally.
Yeah. So
I think that we'll get into this in a minute too, but the Pyramid Head it's like it's the figure that's keeping him on track. It's the figure that's not letting him get away with turning Mary into Maria, deciding to, stay in his delusion. It's continuing to force him to face what he's done. And so this purgatory has an element of making you come to terms with who you are,
Given that, if you go off the theory that it's a subconscious, would you say that's James's own mind not letting him get away from what he's done?
I think so. That feels that way to me.
Yeah. Just a quick fact, and I'll leave the floor to somebody else here. Great talking to you.
Oh, you too, man.
For years, finally got a conversation with Curtis.
Right back at you. We should do this more often. This is great hearing the voices of these people I've seen on chat for years, and it's so cool to hear your voice. So,
quickly, the blade of Pyramid Head. Originally, the plan was it was supposed to be scissors, and his blade was one half of the pair of scissors, and James later in the game would get the other half of the pair of scissors.
Oh, wow.
So that was the original plan, but the developers said, unfortunately, we ran out of time. Deadlines are deadlines. We had to get the game done.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but the original plan was you were supposed to get the other half of the blade, and at the end put them together, and there'd be scissors. Showing it's kind of it's all art, your own interpretation, but my mind is kind of completing the two halves of James, the very dark Pyramid Head side, and the more light,
helpful kind. This person who's trying to. For sure. Awesome, man. Well, it's great hearing your voice, and stick around. We'll keep this going.
Of course, thanks.
Yeah. All right. This is fun. All right. I'm going to read some of the chat stuff because you guys are chatting. It's Aaron. That sounds like you wanted to get on. Let me just double check to make sure I think I just may have to give you access or something like that. Let me see if I can find you. You might have to be at a certain. There you go. Oh, I think you don't have a. I'm going to give you. All right, I think I just gave you a new role, which should allow you to get onto the the Discord voice channel that's for coffee members and Patreon members. So let me read some other stuff. The thing about how Silent Hill works, especially the monsters, has been a debate and a bar fight for years, says Torshek. Absolutely. In Water is the one, that's one of the endings. In Water is the one I relate to the most, having gone through something similar to James with taking care of a terminally ill loved one. cannot forgive James's actions, even if I understand them. That's a valid point. I totally get that, and we'll watch those endings in a bit. Oh man. Okay. Let me read some more of this stuff, and then I want to read. So James, we talked about James, talked about his monsters. Let's talk about Mary and Maria. So Mary is the ghost hanging over everything, a woman who was angry, terrified of dying, and desperately lonely. And Maria is a direct creation of the town, and I found that interesting. Born of James's subconscious desires. She looks like Mary, but is dressed provocatively, behaves flirtatiously, and acts completely dependent on James. She is the perfect fantasy version of his wife that he wished for during Mary's sickness. Her constant deaths are the town's way of punishing James, breaking down his fantasy until he admits he prefers the real, flawed Mary over the fake one. I don't know if I buy that completely. I do think that she is a manifestation of the opposite of what Mary is at this stage. She's easygoing, nothing bothers her. She's playful and sexy and a little clingy. She's unperturbed by his monsters. So yeah, I think that she is a version of what James misses about his wife and what he wants back, and maybe wishes, she was more like in the first place. Mary isn't much of a character, and she's Guffman, she's Godot, she's that character that we're heading towards, and we don't spend a lot of time with. So it's Maria that we really get to know. But again, it's very clear that she's a manifestation of something else. Torshek says, Curtis needs to play Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition, especially Born from a Wish, now that bonus scenario there really broke that discussion, especially what Maria is. I'm sure, is this like the Half-Life world that there's all kinds of spin-off games? I'm sure I could just do nothing but play Silent Hill for the rest of my gaming days. Angela, this is the one that really just is rough. Rick Croatan, is Silent Hill evil? I don't think it's evil. I think Silent Hill is, I don't know. Does Silent Hill beckon people who aren't dealing with regret and dismay and having done terrible things? Does Silent Hill have hundreds and thousands of people roaming at the same time, and we only just happen to run into Angela and Eddie for some reason? I don't know. That's a good question. I'll read the rest of your comment. I mean that in the sense of a kind of opposite Garden of Eden place. Your wishes do come true, but you do not really understand what your wishes actually are deep down. That's kind of like obsession, be careful what you wish for, because what you're saying that you need and what your urges and desires are might not be the same thing. Absolutely. Great comment. Okay. Gosh, you guys it's great to have it's great to have this conversation. I feel okay. Let's talk a little about Angela. I love it. I haven't had this many people on a Tuesday night in a while. I'm not gonna play games anymore. I'm just gonna talk about them. Angela is arguably the most tragic character in the game. Stalked by abstract, fleshy monsters like the Abstract Daddy. I don't know the Abstract Daddy. I think that was the boss that we fought, which was my understanding. It was, I was so busy trying to get away from him that I never got a good look at, that boss, but it's two sides of a bed, and it's a very sexual position of two people fused on both sides of a bed. I think it represents her father, who sexually abused her, and her brother, who sexually abused her. And I think, as Zen said in the chat, we only find this out in a newspaper article or something. So it's really easy to miss. I think, of course, I missed it. So Angela's reality is that she was severely physically and sexually abused by her father and her brother, and with her mother blaming her for it. That said, she's looking for her mother at the beginning of the game, and she has this delusion that her mother was her protector, but apparently she wasn't. And she thinks James is her mother at one point when she's kind of in another world. Shortly before coming to the town, she killed her father with a kitchen knife, the one she hands to James. So she's there looking for some kind of salvation or dealing with her guilt. When James sees her on a staircase engulfed in flames and says, "It's hot as hell in here." And that's another thing. James gets these peeks into Angela's and Eddie's worlds. I don't know if they ever get a peek into his world or not, but I thought that fascinating. Angela responds with one of the most devastating lines in gaming history. "For me, it's always like this." Angela can't escape her trauma. She sees everyone as a threat, and her ending implies that she submits to the fire of her own grief. Oof, that's rough. Man, who comes up with this stuff? I mean, these are just brilliant minds to be able to deal with the inner workings of trauma and grief and regret. Oh my gosh. Eddie, another one. You know, Eddie's like so many characters. Well, he's not the comic relief, but, you know, he's kind of the big lubberly guy, Cyrus and Phantasmagoria 1. But he's dealing with his own issues. He represents what happens when a lifetime of being mocked and humiliated turns into volatile defensive malice. Oh, no, yeah. So we find out that Eddie was severely bullied because of his weight, and something snapped. He shot. So there's some people thought he shot and killed somebody, but I think the general consensus is that he shot a bully's dog and shot the bully in the leg before fleeing to Silent Hill. So he didn't kill anybody, I think. Eddie's version of the town is cold, empty, and filled with people laughing at him. As he spends time there, he stops feeling guilty and starts embracing the violence, realizing that killing people makes them stop laughing. James is forced to kill Eddie in self-defense, serving as a dark mirror to James. Eddie accepted his monstrosity with pride, whereas James buried his in a delusion. One thing, I want to double check on the... Aaron, you're here. Are you here? Oh, no, you're not here. Let me get back to my... Yeah, let's double check here. There's my channel. Okay, we got folks. Hey, okay, you are here. All right, I got some hands raised. I got Aaron and Bevan. I'll get you guys there. And Johan, I'll get you there too. Well, I'll just finish this thought that what I noticed is that just before the boss fight with Eddie, he was talking to someone who, a dead person in the corner that he had killed. And to me, it looked like James. And I wonder if that just means that to Eddie, all of his bullies are kind of the same. And then when you walk around that room before you go into the meat locker, there's like 4 or 5 other bodies, and they all look the same. And they all kind of look like James. I found that fascinating. Yeah, so much going on here. Okay, let me take another caller. Let's bring. Let's start with Bevan, then we'll bring in Aaron after that. All right, I'm going to move you. How do we do it? Oh, it's right here. Okay, there we go. Show requests. There it is. Invite to speak. I'm inviting you to speak. And now there you are with your skeleton head, your skull. Bevan, are you there? I see it looks like you're...
Yeah.
Hey.
Hello.
We did it.
Yeah, you can hear me?
We can hear you fine, yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry, I was sitting in the wrong voice channel. I wasn't paying attention.
That's a metaphor for other things as well.
It is indeed.
I find myself sitting in the wrong voice channel on many aspects of my life.
So I know that I have been harping on a lot about the original versus the remake and stuff,
Yeah.
and I've had so many thoughts about it that have, gone in different directions as you played, because obviously I know the
like a
original
cow
really well, and I've never seen the remake. So I kind of, just like been thinking about the differences and the similarities, and sort of what they kind of mean to me in a whole game development, game playing sort of way. Because I think something that you and I have in comics, I'm pretty sure I've heard you talk about it before, is we both like have this appreciation for the whole art from adversity thing, where you take your limitations and you use them as strengths.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that one of the reasons that I'm so excited about game development and game development history is that there's it happens so quickly with games. Games, since they, video games, since they began to exist to now, such a short period of time, but the difference between the way they started and the way they are now is so extreme compared to a lot of different forms of art. Like the TV sitcom has changed very little since the 50s, and a lot of that comes down to you're dealing with the technology, you're also dealing with social factors and people's expectations, and so I think that's kind of what I've been thinking about a lot with the remake versus the original. The original had a lot of limitations that I think in a lot of ways really helped it with the story. In terms of kind of the genre of this like otherworldly, dreamlike horror, kind of sort of abstract expressionism kind of feel, which was part of it was because kind of out of necessity because of the limitations of the technology, and part of it was by design. It was also very claustrophobic. It was much smaller. It was much shorter. And the design was just a bit weirder, and the acting was brought up. Like even the acting was stranger. It was less polished, and in a lot of ways, I think that kind of helped make it feel more dreamlike. And I think that's a lot of what I've been missing.
You saw in a way, it was like this felt almost too polished, and
it felt a little bit too polished, and it felt a little bit too naturalistic. Like people sort of expect a more sort of photorealistic look now, which I kind of felt detracted from the dreamlike quality that the original had. In a lot of ways, some of it was like, I think, deliberate design, and others of it was just like, this is just the way we make games now. And a lot of the stuff that it was in the original probably wasn't even necessarily the way they would have done it if they had.
If they could have,
It's just the only thing they could do. And I think it's I know I make fun of you a lot for like trying to make sense of things that aren't supposed to make sense and all that, but I kind of get it. I feel the same way a lot in the remake because the look is so naturalistic and goes on for long periods of time, just looking really normal, And so when something really weird comes out of nowhere, like I get why you ask those questions. Like, why is there like suddenly 17 pits to hell, and why is James sticking his arm down toilets, and why doesn't he call the police and report a pyramid head? Like it just
well, it's funny, it's like for me it's like I give me the world that you build the world, and then be consistent within the world. And if you're consistent within a world, and if that world is absurd and like a David Lynch film, I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with not knowing what the hell is going on or why this thing led to this, because it's so completely consistent with itself. But when there are moments where someone like, James is, so much of this also, it just helps to have people kind of share with me their thoughts. And I do that sort of, oh, okay, that makes more sense. But your comment about like him sticking his hand in a toilet bowl or in some infested bug hole, why? What is it that you didn't create the environment that made me think that that's a natural thing for him to do.
Right.
And so those are just minor things in a much better game. But I guess my last question for you right now, Bevan, is if you could distill it's really hard because your first experience with a beloved thing, especially if there's more than one versions of it, is almost always going to be your baby.
Right.
And so what do you think the two things, what did the remake get right and what did they miss?
Okay. It's hard because some of the things that are right are also wrong, and like they're good for a game, for a player and for a player's comfort, but they're bad for the atmosphere. They like you lose something for that comfort, you lose something of the atmosphere. Like for instance, in the original, well, okay, for you, like you're used to playing James and he's got this camera over his shoulder that's pointing in front of him all the time and it just stays there. In the original, the camera moved everywhere. The camera would be behind you looking in front of you. You turn the corner and suddenly the camera's in front of James looking behind you. And that gets very disorienting and it makes it very hard to play. That's just kind of how games were at the time and people were just used to it. A player nowadays would not put up with that. It's
Yeah.
But it definitely helped with that feeling of the just the other world, the dreamlikeness of it, that this wasn't reality, that you had to be on your toes, you didn't have your feet on the ground. And so that's one example of how like that's just an expectation players have now.
Yeah.
You can't make them go back to that. They wouldn't put up with it.
Right.
Sadly. And like I said, the photorealism and all that, like people just sort of expect things to look more real. And if I had made the remake, the things I would have done differently to try and keep some of the flavor, I would have made the design more weird, both visually and with the sound design. The sound design just in the original is just so disorienting and crazy and
I'd love to hear it. Yeah, I'd love to.
I would have made it shorter too. People like long games. People expect long games now. They couldn't be long in the old days. Now they have to be long.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You lose so much of the emotional and narrative thread. I think it even does.
It felt repetitive at times. It did feel like certain, like I feel like I've been in this hotel before, or I've been in,
like and like you lose the mystery, you lose the feeling of, you forget what you're doing.
Yeah.
And again, like we're talking about, there's those long stretches of no weirdness and then suddenly weird. So yeah, would have made it shorter.
Okay.
All in all, though, I do think they did a really excellent job with the story. I think,
well, for me, having it be my only
audience.
experience playing the game, it was it's really it hit me pretty hard, and it's the reason I haven't done this before, where we actually taken a full stream just to chat about a game. So I mean, and my understanding is they did it with the original developers' contribution and permission, and they clearly had a love for this game to take it to the way they did. So props for them for doing that.
Absolutely. I think they did more right than they did wrong. And I think a lot of it just comes down to this. It's a game for this time. And begrudgingly, if somebody asked me which one they should play for the first time, having watched you play this one, I think I would have to just recommend the remake. Because it's too late to have that experience now.
I think it might be.
Like,
it might
it's just,
be. And also, I think it's
it
my
just is.
understanding
And
is
the
that I
thing is, I
didn't.
wouldn't feel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that my
Oh no,
understanding is that it. The reason I didn't was it's just everybody said it's just going to be way too hard. It's just going to be in terms of just getting
yeah,
it to work and to
getting it to run.
getting
Yeah,
it to run. So at least this made it
but
easier
yeah,
for
no.
us to do that.
The thing is, yeah, the thing is, and I would recommend the remake. Part of me would die inside a little bit, but I wouldn't actually feel bad about it. But I would feel good about recommending
All
it.
right.
Like,
Well,
because it
hey,
is actually an excellent game. I think they did about as well as they could have, except for it should be weirder and it
yeah.
should be shorter. That's
Yeah,
it.
weirder and shorter. That's good. Devin, it's good hearing your voice. Thanks
Yeah.
for this. All right. Talk to you soon.
Mhm.
All right. Aaron, I'm going to bring you in just a second, but let me just double check here to see. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about Laura. I'm just going to kind of keep going through this stuff. So again, Laura being the innocent observer, the little girl who was, and what I didn't quite put two and two together was that Laura was in the hospital with Mary. I don't know if she was also sick or she's clearly an orphan. She doesn't have parents because Mary wanted to adopt her. But because she has no guilt, malice, or dark secrets, Silent Hill is completely harmless to her. Laura doesn't see monsters, fog, or decay. Silent Hill is just an ordinary, quiet vacation town. She acts as the moral compass. I don't know if I think Laura is the moral compass, an ultimate truth teller. She's kind of a little rapscallion, really. But she does call James out on his lies because she knew the real Mary. And also, I do want to say thank you very much to, we got a Blue Rose 430. Thank you so much for your super chat. And you asked, would you ever play the original sometime down the line? It's one of the greatest games ever made. The remake is excellent, but not better than the original. Well, you are in the same camp as most people, I think, who played the original, certainly as much as Bevan. And thank you for that. I'd love to play it. I think I have to move on to other games. And as I said, my understanding is it's not that easy to run on a PC and stream. And I'm limited in my abilities to do that anyway. But, never say never. So fan theories, key nuances in the remake. So the Mary is in the trunk theory, the legendary fan theory from the original game, which the Bloober team heavily nodded to in the remake, is that Mary's corpse is actually in the back seat or trunk of James's car at the beginning of the game. I don't know who got that. I don't. James drove to Silent Hill immediately after killing her. That makes sense. Meaning her body is right there in the parking lot while he searches the town. The remake's opening camera angles and the heavy focus on the car keys add massive weight to this. Did anybody else notice that other than reading about it? Did anybody get a sense of that? I'd be curious. In the back seat. Wouldn't we be able to? I remember looking at it in the car. I thought. The glimpses of past loops. Fans have noted that the remake leans heavily into the idea that James has been trapped. Oh, this is interesting. Trapped in this cycle multiple times. Found notes, decaying bodies, and again, bodies that look like James, to my mind, wearing clothes similar to James's. And certain achievements imply that the town keeps resetting James back to that observation deck until he gets it right. So again, that classic, Groundhog Day kind of experience, which that makes sense. That's kind of interesting. Leading to various endings, like the ones that we haven't listened to yet. Okay. And then finally, I'm going to read Masahiro Ito's visual evolution. The original art director, Masahiro Ito, worked closely on the remake to ensure the monsters retain their psychological weight. He clarified that the flesh lips and framework designs are intensely tied to medical equipment, home confinement, and sheets, hammering home that James's nightmare is entirely born from a claustrophobic hospital room. So there you go. All right, let me bring in our next caller. And let's invite our friend Aaron. Inviting you to speak. All right, you're going to have to unmute and you should be good. Aaron, are you there? Maybe she stepped away because I took too long. All right, well, when you come back.
Oh, did I do it?
You did it. Hey there.
I did it. Fantastic. Technical difficulties over here, but I'm pleased to have figured them out. It is good to chat with you again.
You too. How's the life in the Aaron world?
Life is going. I haven't been able to stop thinking about this game, and what a thoughtful intellectual bunch we have here. This is truly a riveting conversation with everyone. So I'm really enjoying this live stream, and I'm excited to jump in.
Yeah. Now, this was your first experience too, right? You didn't play this before?
Yeah, I actually did not know that this game even existed until you started playing it. So this was 100% completely fresh for me.
So we
I
went
had
through
no
this together, you and me.
We absolutely went through it, and I had no idea where things were going. And as I said,
You
I
probably
can't
would have got there a little faster than me, but anyways, I appreciate.
I don't know. I like coming up with theories. I know you know that. Everyone knows that. I'm not sure that I
Well,
have
I'm
even
dying to
heard-
hear some of yours. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, I definitely was really fixated on examining the game through a psychological angle. And where my mind went first was that this game is exploring the 5 stages of grief. And I thought, are the different locations each representative of a different stage of grief? Are the big bad monsters, the bosses or whatnot, are they each representative of a different stage of grief? Are all the locations, are all the monsters representative of all the different stages of grief? And I really started to lean into that thinking when I noticed that I can't recall, again, this is my first time experiencing the game, so I apologize. I'm not necessarily going to remember how many times a certain thing happened or where it happened, but I remember seeing before James fought one or two of the bosses, he would grab his head and lean over, and it looked like he was maybe in some kind of psychological distress. And I thought, are these monsters more metaphorical than literal? Is he having to fight through the trauma, a stage of grief, in order to proceed? And one other thought that I had in retrospect was, several of the big bad bosses, the monsters, whatever, they had the symbolism, literal representation of beds. There was the boss toward the end where it was Maria, and it looked like there was a bed in the room. She was in the bed at the very end, and then the bed was in the room as James was fighting her. And then earlier in the game, there was the bed that seemed to have two figures on either side of it.
And that was Angela's nightmare that he, I don't know. Yeah. That was when he was with Angela. And I think that represented her trauma.
Yeah. And I wondered if he also connected with her trauma in thinking about his own, if there was something that was coming up for him, just, seeing the recurrence of the beds, thinking about maybe Mary in the hospital bed and having two figures, one on either side. Was that a representation of the complexity of the situation, of this, as we're calling it, a mercy killing, right? And so I was just really thinking about the game a lot from a psychological angle, and I'm just curious to hear if other people thought that the 5 stages of grief
I
heavily.
think you're getting a lot of response in the chat saying yes. And it's funny. I read this. I think this is a perfect time to read this if you don't mind.
Please.
This is on a Reddit thread, where people are kind of discussing this, and I think that here's just another take on it, because I think much of what I'm reading is based on what the developers said, and it's basic, so anyways, this is a little bit different. I think it's a little more along the lines of your thoughts. He says, I think the town itself, the letter from Mary, and the different characters have a meaning unique to James's life and his own mind. James resented, here, I'm going to get into this. James ends up killing Mary. Okay, he's doing a little bit of the. So after he kills Mary, he's racked with guilt, turns to alcohol and addiction. Silent Hill represents a decaying purgatory, light hell, unique to James's dying mind. James must face his inner demons to have redemption. Pyramid Head is the culmination of all of his demons, able to move throughout the purgatory freely and controls the different aspects, looking to have dominance over James and damn him to eternal suffering for his actions. Pyramid Head is the core of James's hate and shame. The monsters, bosses, and dungeons you must defeat are the different aspects of his darkness, but the human characters are also different aspects of James and his relationships. Eddie, in his mind, is addiction and represents the side of himself that's able to kill himself, Mary, or others that might get in the way of his pain. Angela represents the core of Mary's innocence. This is the aspect of his wife that needed him, his love, his protection, and her traumatic upbringing. Mary was likely raped or hurt by male members of her family. Maria is what his immature self wished Mary was. And Laura is the childhood innocence of Mary. So I think there's, I love that this has is so open to so many ways of looking at things.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very fascinating. I was just reminded of that one scene where he fought the two pyramid heads and he says something like, you don't have a hold on me anymore, or and that was like acceptance when they killed themselves. I could write a dissertation about this video game.
I have a feeling it might be one brewing. Well, that's the thing too, is that the pyramid heads became clear to me as I was reading more up on it, was that it was holding James accountable. So I don't know if you were with me on this, but Maria was killed by the pyramid head numerous times. And then she came back and then she was killed again. And then she came back. And then at the very end, when he fights the two of them, just prior to that boss fight, they kill Maria again. And that didn't make any sense to me. But thinking about it and reading about it is that if James is trying to turn Mary, and we all do this in our mind, is that we will, we are going to hold on to what memories we want and we're going to manipulate them the way that we want with regards to people or experiences that we have. If he's trying to turn Mary into Maria, Pyramid Head keeps killing that version of Maria. So James has to deal with what he did and what he's going to do now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah. So Pyramid Head isn't the bad guy. It isn't the scary monster. I mean, it is in the sense that it's the thing that holds us accountable for our actions.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. So fascinating.
And I think, Zen, you might have said something, maybe you can write it in the chat, but apparently there was some symbolism of the two pyramid heads after we beat that boss where they impale themselves on their spears. And I don't know what that means in a grander scheme. Do you have a sense of that at all, Aaron?
About what Zen said?
No, well, just that when James finally beats, I guess, that he never really beats the two pyramid heads, but when that boss fight is over at the end, they impale themselves on their spears. And I just didn't quite understand what that meant, that he finally was taking, maybe it's because he's finally taking the responsibility for his actions. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that there's absolutely an element of that. I think that maybe he's reaching the acceptance phase and that he realizes that the pain of going through the motions of sort of being caught in this loop is a greater hell than actually staring down what has really transpired. And it just very powerful, I thought.
Yeah. Well, it is awesome hearing your voice. We should catch up one of these days.
Aw.
But thanks for hopping on
Love
here.
to.
Yeah.
A pleasure. Thanks for chatting with me.
Sure thing. I'll talk to you a bit.
All right.
Okay. And Johan, I know your hand's up and I've seen Those Deaf Mutes and Tybran in the audience. But I am going to, we've been doing a lot of talking to other people, so I'm going to move forward a little bit. So hang in there if you can. I hope it's nothing, but I think now is the time to watch the other endings because we are about half an hour out. Without further ado, let's do that. I got the videotape scene. So yeah, this is, gosh, it's about 28 minutes. So we'll see how this all goes. And then we can finish up. I'll do a quick little, I'll see if I can get to Johan. I know his hand's been up. And then we'll finish with the letter from Mary to James, and then we'll wrap it up. This has been awesome. Okay. Oh, and I did get, Zen, you kind of, Pyramid Head was actually helping James by face his sins by embodying it. They impale themselves because James finally accepts he murdered her. That makes sense. He says, I don't need you anymore. Yeah. Ribbons of intention. It's interesting that the psychological hell of one's own creation as a result of trauma is often worse than the inciting event that created the trauma in the first place. Man, that is so true. Okay, let's watch these things. Let me scoot to the next scene. And let's see. So this is the one I think we got. So we'll watch this again. Oh, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. I told you. I wanted the pain to end.
Yeah. You did. But that's not why I did it. The truth is, I hated you.
Okay, so I didn't put this together. I want to see if I can move this. Oh, hold on. Come on. All right. He's talking to her. Am I on? Okay, yeah. He's talking to her here. She's at home. I think at one point she said, I get to come home from the hospital. They're letting me come home for a little bit. So this isn't a memory of him and her prior to him murdering her. I think this is actually him talking to her after he's murdered her, telling her why he did. Is that
Wicklow tipped $10. There was an unmet donation goal here. It's gone now.
Oh, buddy. Thank you, Wicklow. Appreciate it, man. Very, very kind of you. Appreciate you. Gosh, I want to be able to turn off it won't let me turn off the, let's see if I get rid of this. Why is it? It just disappears every time I'm trying to turn off the closed captioning because there's already captioning on this thing. Let's see, what can I do? Okay.
Mary.
Hey, handsome.
All right, I guess we'll just have to deal with it. This is him accepting and finding things. Okay, thanks, Purple.
Oh, sorry.
Don't be. I told you. I wanted the pain to end.
And this makes me think that it's a mercy killing and that she wanted
You did.
this.
But that's not why I did it.
Okay, so he's being honest.
The truth is, I hated you. I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
If that's true, then why do you look so sad?
Mary.
It's okay, James. Here.
What is this?
It's what you've been looking for.
And that's the letter that she wrote to Mary, to Laura, which I think we read earlier in the.
In my restless dreams,
So I'm going to
I
stop
see that
this
town.
now because this is this is the last letter that Mary writes to James. And why can't I turn off the stupid? This is driving me crazy. As soon as I go over here, I want to turn off the. Why? Does anybody know how to turn? Why is it? Why is look? As soon as I have it on, and I want to go to closed captioning, going to closed captioning so I can turn it off, and then it disappears, and it disappears. That doesn't happen normally. I'm going to skip ahead to the next one because I want to read the final. Oh my God. Nuts. All right. I know I don't want double slow. Click CC. I know I'm trying to click CC, but look at this. Here it is. I'm trying to click it and it won't let me. And I'm trying to click it and it won't let me. And once again, all right, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to find a new push C on your keyboard. Is that it? If that's it, that would be awesome. I don't think that's it though.
Restless dreams.
No.
But you know, I wait. Wrapped in my cocoon of pain.
Okay, so this is the next one. Here's the one I haven't seen yet. Shrink the video and try to go big. No, that didn't do it. I can't even shrink the video. Ask Google. This is so weird. Can I do it? What about this one? It won't let me do it here either. This is so weird. Okay. Sorry, gang. I'll just have to live with it. Ah, welp, I agree. CC Remit head. Control C. Okay, well, in the water end. All right. Something new to me. So he's back in his car. Is he still on top of the parking lot?
I miss you so much. I tried. I really did, but I can't. Just I can't forgive myself for what I've done. I know this isn't what you would want.
I'm going to end it.
But I guess it doesn't matter anymore. You're not here. Are you?
Is what's in the back seat? Can't tell. I'm glad they didn't show that. I'm glad we just saw that in darkness or heard that.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill.
Question. Is the letter the same in all the endings? Jake says, I always like to imagine that this ending implied that the entire thing in Silent Hill was in his head right before he did this. Oh man, maybe so. Zen says, in the original, it's all black. You hear James say, I know the real reason I came to this town. Starts his car, loud tire screeching, then credits. Oh, that's even better. I don't think he needed to see. I guess, to be consistent with the game that they created, that makes sense. You also hear banging from the car there. He says life was pointless, so screw it. I'm going to kill myself with Mary. And then, any ideas about the letter? Is the letter the same? Or does the letter change a little bit with each ending?
You promised you'd take me there again someday. But you never did. Well, I'm alone there now.
Sounds like the same one.
In our special place. Waiting for you to come and see me. But you never do. So, I wait.
That image of what? Floating
Wrapped
down. What is
in my
it?
cocoon of pain.
I think it's
and
the same letter.
loneliness.
What is this thing? Is this the letter floating down? Yeah, there it is. Okay, next ending.
I want you to live for yourself and for others, like you did for me. James, you made me happy.
That's two. I will say, well, I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm gonna watch them all and tell you which one makes the most sense to me. Zara left. The letter in the good ending says donate to CWC Coffee and like and subscribe, oddly enough. Yeah, that's a great ending. Okay. Okay, Kim was here. Oh, that part was hard, man. That was rough. That part was... So this is the Maria ending, I guess you're just talking about.
is what you've been looking for.
Let's go.
So he's choosing Maria, the fantasy version of Mary. He's living in his, he is not dealing with the truth, and he's choosing to live in his. Oh wow.
Better do something about that cough.
That one. Okay. Wait, what's this? Dog teeth. What the hell? Oh my god.
Fuck ass shit.
Oh, come on.
Nie. To nie może być prawda.
Not the dog. It was you the whole time. Aw. Wearing headphones, earmuffs. Uh-oh. That was good. All right. Good for them, I guess. It's like the first funny thing that's happened in the game the whole time. All right. Are the rest of them just joke endings? Oh God. That's the last we saw of James. James what? What is this? You're me. Oh, it's the old one. That's from the first game. I'm the real you. No, it can't be. That's true. You've been a clone this whole time. But now it's time to come home. No! Thumbs up. Finally, all is as it should be. We can be together. You probably don't get these endings unless you play the game a couple times, right? I can't imagine that you would get this game in the first play. Oh, so there's more? So that's what the old Silent Hill was like. Yeah, I can see why they made it. Rebirth ending. Okay, this might. Oh, right. We're back on the lake. Yeah, he has to get back on the boat to go back home, right? God, how does he get home?
Mary.
How's he going to find his way back?
You look so peaceful. Forgive me for waking you. But without you, I just can't go on. This town, Silent Hill. The old gods haven't left this place. And they still grant power to those who venerate them. Power to defy even death. Mary.
Death Mary. There might be more to that ending than I was able to just stillness.
I tried. I really did, but I can't go on without you. I can't forgive myself for what I've done.
I know. What's wrong, honey?
You can see that's Mary's clothing, not Maria.
I miss you so much. I am sorry. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
Will you wait for me?
James. I've always been waiting for you. So he doesn't read the letter.
in this one. Still goes off. Well, that's is there more? There's one more. Close caption. Okay, last one. Well, there's some good ones. They're good.
Are you taping again? Come on.
Oh, so this is the real video, not the one that the Silent Hill doctored up to get his guilt.
I don't know why, but I just love it here.
So why did they went to Silent
It's
Hill?
so peaceful.
And it was peaceful and wonderful. So,
You know what I heard?
in some
This whole
dimension,
area used to be a sacred place.
this is an actual place and real people are there, and
I think I can see why.
it has peaceful feelings.
It's too bad we have to leave.
Working on more than one dimension.
Promise you'll take me again, James.
Yeah.
I promise.
Come on, we need to finish packing.
Oh boy.
James, honey, did something happen?
Oh, no, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Wait, why? I don't get it. I don't get that one. Because she wasn't sick there yet. You guys. I'm all getting, caught up in this, and you're all right. So whew, okay. I don't know what to say. I've got the more obscure endings to me, the better. I feel like the driving into the lake, they all make sense. They're all, well, nothing, including the dog. Driving in the lake, totally buy it, but it's too on the nose, right? It's painful, and I'm okay with that, but it's too on the nose. The one that we got where he and Laura decide to make a go of it seems a little too hopeful for a game that has been so dark. So for me, him choosing Maria and trying to escape his past with a vision, only to have her cough when he gets to the car, tells me that he's not, and then we find out through one of these other things that maybe he's been doing this for a while. He's just incapable of making the right decision. There's numerous stories out there of people having to relive life over and over again so that they can actually come to some sort of nirvana or what have you. So I like that one a lot. That one resonated with me. What was the other one? Rebirth, talking to Mary in the car. And that she's waiting for him on the other side. If he's going to take his own life, that one felt more in keeping with the game. The river one I didn't get. I didn't get the river one. What was that? Wait, did I miss something? What else did I? There was the UFO. That was funny. Rebirth. That was the stillness. Yeah. And then did I miss something? Yeah, the water. Yeah, Maria. The dog. Yeah, so I think Dead is better. James, Dead is better. Rebirth was the creepy boat ride to the lake in order to enact an occult ritual to revive Mary. Really? Yeah, that one didn't really quite make it for me. All right. I promised Johan, if he's still there, that I'd bring him on. Thank you for being so patient. And Johan, I'm going to keep it simple because I only have a few more minutes. So I'm going to ask you, my friend, what your favorite ending was. And once we get your favorite ending, we will then go on to watch and listen to the ending from the original Silent Hill 2 of the actress reading the letter and reading it for the first time, according to lore. All right. Johan, I'm bringing you on. Hey, man, are you there?
Hello, Paul. Yes, I'm there. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you, Johan?
I'm fine. Long time no see. Nice to hear you again.
You too. You too. How are things?
Great, but very busy. And I also like to apologize to you and to everyone that I haven't been tagging along for a long time, and I'm really sorry about that. But I try to tag along as much as I can.
Well,
so
man, no worries. When you make it, it's always a pleasure, and we all have our crazy lives and stuff.
Of course.
Had you played this game before, Johan?
No, I haven't. As a matter of fact, I only heard about it, but this is actually the first time I see the whole thing when watching these videos with you, actually. So,
oh, wow.
So I only heard about it, but I never had time to catch up with it because this was the time when it came out. I was getting myself for the first time becoming a busy man. So I left games behind. I left games behind me, but I heard about it. I read the news about it, the reviews about it, and. But that's it, I think I played the third game just a little quickie, but because I missed the other two, I didn't know what it was about. It was a bit weird. So
yeah.
But now it starts to make a little more sense now, actually.
Cool. So now of those endings we all just watched, was there one that seemed to be the right one for you?
Actually, I like the last one we saw, the one with the tape there, because I think that's kind of because the other ones they felt like. Well, as I interpreted, it felt like James couldn't handle the pain anymore. So he took his wife, or Mary, right? Yeah, and took her body with the car and then drive in and with him inside the car. That's how I interpreted all the endings. But the last one with the tape, I think that's the one who pulled him back from this idea of doing that. So this is why he says everything is fine, everything is fine. So I think this is the good ending, the last one, So
there's something to that. I mean, that really stuck with me too. I agree. There's something. That's a very ambiguous one too, because we really could sort of. It could go a bunch of different ways. But you're right. There's something about that going back to that tape, which is what ultimately,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I thought. So I'm like, oh, finally, there's the good, because I felt the other ones were the same ending, but maybe a little different, this and that. But it was still, but of course, it is a very depressing game. You know, it is a dark game. So, but the last one, I thought, yeah, this is it. Like he's maybe planning doing it, you know.
Yeah.
But then he see the tape, and that's what brings him back to life and realizing he has something to live for. You know.
Yeah.
You know. So
I love it. Well, that's a great comment. Well, hey man, I'm gonna just I want to kind of thanks so much. It's great to hear you, and then best of luck with all your work and all the things you're doing.
Thank you.
Come join us
Thank
when
you
you
so
can.
much.
All right, buddy.
Of course. Oh, by the way, the one more ending I would like to talk about is actually the one where he meets his original himself. You know what I'm thinking of when I see that?
Yeah.
Curtis Craig.
That's right. James and Curtis Craig. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, man. Take it easy.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Awesome. All right. So let's wrap this up. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. I think that I just learned something that I should have learned 5 years ago or whenever we started this channel, that we should always do this at the end of a game. We should always have a chat about it. I mean, it's just moving on to the next game doesn't allow us to reflect on what we just experienced together. And I'm loving that so many people are here tonight, and that so many people are engaged. Daniel's in the chat. Mr. Albu, are you here? Is it early enough your time now? All right, but let's watch the final scene from the original Silent Hill 2. And from what I understand, this letter was given. Did I write this? Shoot. Oh yeah. So, well, it was given to the actor who voiced Mary, the original Mary, and she did not get the letter prior to them taping it. So she had to read it for the very first time. And that's what we're hearing. And so you can hear that she becomes emotionally connected to this letter in a really powerful way. So let's listen and watch that, and then we'll wrap it up. Man, this has been fun. Yeah, in one take. Wow. Okay. Let's get back to this. And here, I think it is right here. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna move that up. Move that down. Okay. Here we go.
In my restless dreams, I see that town.
There's no music, which is great.
Silent Hill.
Hold on.
You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you. Waiting for you to come to see me. But you never do. And so I wait, wrapped in my cocoon of pain and loneliness. I know I've done a terrible thing to you. Something you'll never forgive me for. I wish I could change that. But I can't. I feel so pathetic and ugly laying here, waiting for you. Every day I stare up at the cracks in the ceiling, and all I can think about is how unfair it all is. The doctor came today. He told me I could go home for a short stay. It's not that I'm getting better. It's just that this may be my last chance. I think you know what I mean. Even so, I'm glad to be coming home. I've missed you terribly. But I'm afraid, James. I'm afraid you don't really want me to come home. Whenever you come see me, I can tell how hard it is on you. I don't know if you hate me or pity me, or maybe I just disgust you. I'm sorry about that. When I first learned that I was going to die, I just didn't want to accept it. I was so angry all the time, and I struck out at everyone I loved most, especially you, James. That's why I understand if you do hate me. But I want you to know this, James. I'll always love you. Even though our life together had to end like this, I still wouldn't trade it for the world. We had some wonderful years together. Well, this letter has gone on too long, so I'll say goodbye. I told the nurse to give this to you after I'm gone. That means that as you read this, I'm already dead. I can't tell you to remember me, but I can't bear for you to forget me. These last few years since I became ill, I'm so sorry for what I did to you, did to us. You've given me so much, and I haven't been able to return a single thing. That's why I want you to live for yourself now. Do what's best for you, James. James, you made me happy.
Oof. You know, that's wow, that's really something. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. I think it was, whoops, going over here. I think it was G. Schmidl on Discord that found that and shared that with us. Let me just double check to make sure it's true. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Powerful stuff. Thank you so much. And it's funny that letter, listening to it again this time, she's so forgiving. She's so understanding that I think in any of the letters, the endings where James reads the letter, it should be a pathway for him to be able to move forward. But when he can't bear to even bring himself to read the letter, then it makes sense that he doesn't move forward. And like Johan, the more I think about it, the more I think there's something really powerful in that ending. I have to think about it a little bit more, but that ending with the VHS, the VCR moment really has some power underneath that. I want to think about that some more. But okay, guys, geez, this was really something here. I didn't show you my other. I did like 3 here. Let's see. Where are my other images? I had this one. I had that one right there. I didn't show you. I had this one here. Yep, there's the car. Oh, where's the car? Get out of the way. There it is. There's the car. That's the opening scene. Can you see Mary back there? I don't think I can. Anywho, thanks you guys. This has been a real treat, and I want to do more of this. And I love communicating with you. It's so great hearing voices, putting voices to the names I've been chatting with and in the chat for so long. And you guys are awesome. Thanks to Zen and Zero Cleft, Aaron, Bevan, Johan for being brave and coming on to the our little talk show. And I'll be back on Thursday with some more Gree, which is still we'll work our way through this grief thing yet, and then Saturday Daniel and I will continue our adventure in Alien Land. And then next week, tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm taking a 1 hour lunch break, and I'm going to start Sanitarium. Boy, nothing but gloom and doom, and we need a next game has to be a little more lighthearted. All right, all for now. Good to see you guys. Thanks for everything. Take care of yourselves, and I will see some of you tomorrow. I haven't made the link yet, but I'll get it out either late tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, and hopefully I'll see you all then. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Mary.